So I posted on my story a couple days ago some questions for creatives out there. First one was, when do you feel the most creative? And I got a couple different answers. The two that kind of jumped at me was, one answer was from after running. When you're by myself during or after a run, it gets those creative juices flowing. That resonated with me because whenever I do hit the gym or whenever I am on a run, I do feel as though all the creative juices are like there. Like, it sucks because I wish I had a pen and paper and I can like write when I run, but at least I can't do that. I'm sure somebody out there can. But that's also one of the times where I'm at my most creative. Another individual was saying that, late nights, that was me as well, being up late at night. And for me, I think the difference was really in the idea that there's no distractions. I mean, unless you're like on TikTok or Instagram or something. But for me, it was like people aren't texting me or calling me at 1, 2, 3 in the morning. If anything, it's like, hey, jump on Xbox. And it's like, okay, well, if I can stay up on Xbox for that long, I can stay up creating for that long as well. And so for me personally, currently, my creative space, or when I'm most creative, is when I'm either up early in the morning, especially at a coffee shop. Something about coffee shop vibes just allows me to be so much more productive than I usually am. So there's that. Or even when I'm here at the office or studio at the church, and I kind of adapted or adopted to Alex Hormozzi's way of like his deep work. And so I'll sit here, I'll turn all the lights off if I'm not creating or recording. I'll turn all the lights off and I'll just sit here, I'll edit videos, photos, I'll do what I have to do for the church. And so that's really where my creativity kind of flows as well. So if you have any other, ways on how you get your creative juices flowing, or if you're like, hey, here's some advice to get into that zone. For me, it's my advice to you guys would be to remove the distractions. A lot of times we, put your phone on do not disturb or something, and the do not disturb works. But sometimes we're like, oh, well, I want to know when so-and-so posts, or, for the social media people out there, you have your Instagram, your TikTok, your Twitter, threads not on the DND. And so you're still getting those notifications. So I would really recommend that you clear out any distractions. Put your phone on D&D, turn it off if you can. If you're like, hey, I know there may not be an emergency. Like, if people need to get a hold of you, they will get a hold of you some way, shape, or form. But clear out all distractions. Pray. Like, make sure you invite God into your atmosphere, into your workplace. Partner with him when it comes to creating that content, or when it comes to editing, or whatever it may be that you're doing. Like, pray beforehand. And if you're like, Nate, I just don't believe, I don't pray, that's okay. I would still, encourage you, try it out. Well, thank you. I would encourage you to try it out and see the difference in how much your creativity actually flows from before to after you've just said a prayer. It could be a small prayer, it could be a super in-depth prayer, but just partner with God on that. The second question that I asked was, do you feel your creative work is seen or overlooked? So the good thing here is that 75% of answers, and it's still going here, but 75% so far have said that they do feel like their creative work is seen. And then 25% so far have said overlooked. Now, for those of you who are like, oh, my content's been seen and I'm really pushing stuff out there and I like it, great job. Congrats to you, like hand clap. For those of you who are feeling overlooked, consider this a moment that God is just testing your patience. Sometimes our work is going to feel overlooked. We're going to feel as though nobody sees us. Even the people closest to us, our friends, our family members, they may not be commenting, liking, sharing. That's okay. When you feel like your content is being overlooked, just consider for a moment that you're just in a waiting period. because God has something greater coming for you. And so he's just allowing you to say, hey, wait, like continue to post. Don't get discouraged. Continue to post, continue to do stories, long form content, continue to post carousels, anything that's going to be getting you out there on your social media for yourself, for your business, for your church. But just being overlooked, don't get discouraged by it. Actually allow it to just say, hey, this is just my season of waiting. This is my season of just pushing through whatever may be trying to discourage me, whoever may be trying to discourage me. So you're not alone. Feeling overlooked is a common feeling for all creatives. And so the other question, and I'm just going to keep going through these questions, was what drains you more, deadlines or no direction? And so this was interesting because a lot of times for me, deadlines are like, okay, I get more encouraged by the deadlines and, I got to meet this. I got to get there. 12% said deadlines and 88% are saying no direction. So deadlines are a great way for motivation, at least for me, saying, I got to get this done by this time, by X day time, however that looks like. But no direction does it. I'd say at some points can cause some type of fear and anxiety, which you shouldn't have. With great direction, all of that would be taken away. So I do feel like this is a valid answer for those 88%. Like, it is draining. If you don't have direction for your content, you don't have direction for even your posts, your reels, again, it goes back into the preparation. You need preparation for that direction. And so if you are a leader out there who's leading a team and you come to church on a Sunday, or even if it's not church, even if it's a business, and you're like, hey, team, this is what we're doing today. And I've fallen short on that too. I've been in places where it's like, hey, I don't have direction today. Let's build something together. Let's create on the spot. So you never want to leave your team without direction. I've been there. I've done that. And yes, it does drain the team. They feel burnt out. They feel lost. And so that clear communication on developing a plan, making sure the framework, the systems are in place so you have direction, or somebody is giving a type of direction to your team. That'll definitely lower the feeling of getting drained. It'll definitely lower the feeling of burnout, even stress, anxiety. So us as leaders, we need to make sure that we lock in whenever it is that we are creating, whenever it is that we're building these systems, lock in and make sure you have some direction for your team. That is my biggest advice, my biggest coaching to you guys. Have direction, some sort of direction. Even if it's just starting off like, here's a shot list for a Sunday, or here's a shot list for the social media page, have some type of direction. The next question I asked, would you rather serve solo or as a team? Now, this one is interesting. I started off serving a little bit more solo. Like, that's where I felt I was doing the best. But as I began to grow in my ministry, as I began to grow as a creative director, you realize that alone isn't really the best option. And so on the poll, we have 56% saying solo and then 44% saying team. Cool. Like, I love that. I think there are some individuals who can create solo and do amazing things, but you are limited. Whether it's going out on a shoot, whether it's working at a church, whether it's for your business and you have a small team, or you're just starting off, solo is great starting off. Definitely continue to learn, continue to develop what you have and what you're like excited about when it comes to that content creation. But I would say working as a team allows for so much more room, so much more flexibility, and so much more growth in terms of who you are as a creative, because now you're delegating. Now you're able to say, hey, I got to get this off my plate so I can focus on the bigger picture stuff. Hey, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you this. Whereas, at least for me as an entrepreneur, I'm the videographer, photographer, the editor, the screenwriter, all that stuff. Like, where now it's, hey, you have a team, start building, start delegating. Hey, I'm going to build you into this type of leader, you into this type of leader, because good leaders build leaders. I think that's the saying. Great leaders develop leaders, something like that. But for those of you watching, you get the idea, hopefully. But it's just interesting to see. And I can definitely relate to those who are like solo, because I started solo. You know, I started editing solo, learning things on my own, and YouTube Academy. That was my schooling for everything creative. YouTube Academy. I just finished some classes and courses with Omar. Oh my gosh. If you guys have not checked out Omar, I'm going to mess up his last name. Give me a second, because I just like so much respect for Omar that I don't want to mess up his last name. Omar El-Takrori. Omar, if you watch this, dude, I'm so sorry for like messing up your name. But Omar El-Takrori, he's a content creator, entrepreneur, and pastor. Dude is amazing. And so I'm sure he started off in a place where it was solo and then built his team to where he's at now. But as I was saying, like, if you start solo, that'll only take you so far. And so you have to work on developing a team in some way, shape, or form, whether it's for your business, organization, your church, or even just for yourself. Like, as you begin to grow, slowly look at developing a team to help you out. And then the final question is, which do you struggle with the most, burnout or comparison? Now, burnout is something that I brought up in a few of the trainings that I was in this past week. You can't give from an empty well and expect it to bless somebody, touch somebody, to make a difference, like a true impacting difference. Yes, you can make content drawing from an empty cup or an empty well, and it'll make a difference, but it won't make an eternal difference. It won't make a difference that actually lasts. And so what happens with burnout? Well, burnout comes from the no direction. Burnout comes from pushing yourself so hard that you're wasting energy that could be going towards the planning, the preparation, on maybe stressing. Oh, this is coming up, it's due. Or, oh man, I've been doing this for so long, or I've been working on my own for so long. I just have no more time. I don't have anything. I have too much on my plate. There are ways to stop feeling or hitting that burnt out phase. And again, speaking from a creative director position, it's rest. You have to learn how to rest. I understand it's go, go, go. The grind doesn't stop. Oh, I'll sleep when I'm dead, blah, 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 blah. You don't want to do that to yourself. Learn to rest. Even the Bible promises us rest. It's something that does need to be taught, does need to be learned, and it's not the easiest thing to do right off the bat. I personally take a Sabbath every week. Middle of my week, I'm like, hey, you know what? This is my day to rest. And whether that's talking to God, reading my Bible, diving deeper into the Word, I don't do any other real creative work. Might do some light editing, but for the most part, I need that day to just rest. It's the middle of the week, gets me through the end of the week, back into Sunday. So learn or look into taking a Sabbath. Something I've found is just extremely helpful. One day of just resting and incorporating some type of word, some type of prayer, incorporating, even diving into more creative development. Like, that's how I rest. I'm either playing some video games, I'm watching YouTube videos on development in the creative field, in the coaching field, listening to podcasts, reading my Bible, praying. So rest isn't just like, oh, let me just sleep all day. You got to have a productive rest. And that's just something you have to learn how to build out. I can definitely help you out and teach you some of my ways and discover some of the ways that you can rest more. But for the most part, it's just something to look into. Try it out. It's like clothing. Try it out. If it doesn't fit, hey, we'll find you a different size. We'll see what we can create together to help build that Sabbath for you so you learn to rest. The other portion was comparison. And this is at 50-50. So we're 50% burnout, 50% comparison. So comparison, it's the killer to all creatives. And I've been there. I felt that. And I know you who's watching this, like you're probably struggling with comparison right now. You're probably watching videos on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. And if you're someone who's like, man, I want to get my photos that great. I want to get my videos to look that good, that crisp. It's doable, but you got to stop comparing yourself. Every individual goes at their own pace. Every individual learns differently, implements differently. And so you have to understand that the moment you start to compare yourself to another creative or another person, it doesn't even have to be in the creative field. If you're comparing yourself to another person, you've already lost. Because now all of your focus and energy is on, I wish I could be like that person. I wish I can be that good. You can be better. It's just, what are you doing to actually put in the work? What are you doing to develop yourself? I tell my team all the time, like, being on the creative team is not a 1-day ministry. This is a 7-day ministry. Like, if you're not posting on your own social media, if you're not creating outside of a Sunday, then you're just getting comfortable. And being a creative is not for everybody. Being a creative comes with comparison. You look at the video, you pull up Instagram, you're like, oh man, like this is such a good video. It's one thing to say, how do I recreate this? How do I make it again? How can I put my own twist to it? But it's another to be like, oh man, like I'm looking at Omar and man, I wish I could be like Omar. Like, why am I not like Omar? Why haven't I been able to reach 155,000 subscribers? Why haven't I been able to build these courses? And stop comparing yourself. It's not going to help you any. It'll actually just kill your creativity. I'd say it even leads to burnout because now you're trying to be somebody you're not. There's only one of you. So just be you and show up as yourself in your content. Show up as yourself in the things you post, the things you create, the things you develop. So stop comparing yourself. And if you're like, Nate, that's so difficult, how do I stop comparing? First off, I would actually contact the person that you're trying to compare yourself to. Instead of comparing yourself, ask them to see if they could be a mentor for you. Ask them, hey, how did you get to where you're at today? What did you have to go through? A mentor of mine told me at one time, in order for you to be like me, you have to go through what I've been through. And so I think 100%, if you have somebody that you're comparing yourself to and you're like, oh, they're so much better, I want to be like them, like, oh, or they're so much further in their journey and I'm just stuck here. Cool. Ask them. Ask the questions. You have not because you ask not. Ask the question. How did you get there? Oh, and a lot of people don't like it, especially creatives. A lot of creatives don't like this because you have to humble yourself. You have to stop gatekeeping. There are creatives out there who are willing to give you the information and knowledge that you want. But you as a creative need to ask. You need to humble yourself a little bit. Ask for the help. And for those of you who are those like individuals, oh, like I can teach or I can pour into, I can give. Yeah, humble yourself too. Stop gatekeeping. It's 2025. We're so much closer to 2026 now, and you're still gatekeeping. You're still trying to hold back information. Like, how does that help anybody? How does that help you? Like, that's my biggest question. How does gatekeeping help you? Humble yourself. Somebody asks you a question, answer, show them, teach them, guide them. Be a leader. And so when it comes to that burnout and comparison, I want to encourage everybody out there, whether you're a creative, whether you're a worship leader, a teacher, pastor, whomever is watching this video, learn to rest and stop comparing yourself. Like, those are two big things that I guarantee you will help elevate you in your creative journey. And that's all I have for the questions that I asked on Instagram. For those of you who stuck around this long and watched, thank you for watching. And if there are any questions, any comments that you have, whether it's creative questions, creative team questions, developing your social media for your business or your organization, let me know. Throw it down in the comments, shoot me a DM. But I'm here, willing and able to help elevate you and your teams to the next level. Until next week, I'll see you guys later.